Deadpool is my favorite superhero movie since The Dark Knight. That's it. 10 times better than the Avengers movies.
Hi guys, this is Second Perspective. My name is Paul. Over there is Torn, and today we're doing Deadpool.
Deadpool, yeah. Deadpool was just released. Stars Ryan Reynolds. Everybody has probably heard about it, and you're like, what is this superhero movie? Directed by Tim Miller. Who's that? Who knows? The only name that I know is Ryan Reynolds. Stars Morena Baccarin and T.J. Miller as well. Written by Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, and I think it's important to say the names of the writers for this one because it's very heavily about writing. It's got an 8.7 on IMDb right now. It had a record-breaking weekend, first weekend out, and I think it's a great film.
Yeah. So give them a quick synopsis on this.
Right. So Deadpool basically is about a man who finds out that he's only got a certain amount of time to live and undergoes some strange procedures and gains superhuman abilities and puts them to use, basically taking out his enemies.
Yeah.
It's basic revenge plot. There's some romance thrown in there. It's pretty predictable, but actually gives it a certain twist that I liked. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, the thing we'll say right away about this film, the reason why you would want to go see it is its humor. There's literally no other reason why there's not some crazy story structure stuff that's going on or anything. But it's literally I really enjoyed the film myself, but I think you can tell that you'll like the film or not just by watching sort of the ads or the marketing ploys that it's done. And if you go, haha, I enjoyed their little marketing ploys, then great. You'll probably like the humor in this film. It's a little more aggressive because it is, I think, like the first R-rated film that's a superhero film in a good portion of time. A lot of different news places have been mentioning that. But like if you don't like that humor, don't go see it because you're just gonna think it's a really stupid film.
Well, I don't know so much about that actually. The writing is really raunchy, and a lot of it is like, maybe some people sit there in the audience and be like, "This is really debasing my Christian moral values" or something. But then it's like, why are you in the theater in the first place? Shouldn't you be like repenting or something constantly? Yeah. But the humor is actually it's so well written in other aspects. Like there's a romance plot, and the romance plot is carried out primarily through like super witty banter that I would be proud to call my own. Mm-hmm. If I was that witty all the time, I'd basically be like on speed 24/7 or something. Yeah. So it's not all raunchy, and there were a couple like Monty Python references in there that I was like, yeah, solid. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna test you in the discussion to see if you can catch those too. So
that'll be interesting. Well, I think that's the big thing too. Is that like, for one, I think if nothing else, the marketing team of this film deserves an A+.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because they came up with like this Valentine's, go see this movie with your girlfriend, and like everyone knows Deadpool on some level is probably not the greatest Valentine's film if you're looking for something romantic, but it does a very good job of sort of setting up your expectations so that when you go in, you're not expecting one thing and get another. And I think that's a really good way of sort of making sure that your audience will enjoy the film, or at least have a much higher chance to, because there are some films that people go in thinking one thing and it's just not what they expect, and then they hate the film for that, even if it is, if you're expecting some sort of like heist film, but it turns out to be a love story. It might be a great love story, but if you're set up to believe it's one thing, you might just not enjoy it in anyways, right?
Yeah. I mean, at one point, Ryan Reynolds, this isn't really a spoiler, he gets shot in the butt area, and there's a close-up of his anus, basically. Not his real anus, but like with pants on, where the bullet hole's gone, and you're like, oh my god. And he's talking about it as it zooms in slow-mo on his butt, So that's basically what to expect.
Before I ask you the grade of the film that you would give this, what would you caution people of not seeing this film? Like, from the things I haven't mentioned, is there anything you would say like, don't?
Yeah, I would say don't go see this film if your thing is like, okay, superhero films that maybe pander to child audiences and adult audiences as well, and have some like maybe like risque jokes thrown in there that aren't risque at all, and they're just boring and totally shitty. I don't know. If you like shitty movies, don't go see this one because it's good.
All right, let's just get straight to your grade then.
I give it an A.
Yeah, you're
Well,
gonna give it an A.
Yeah, I don't know if I give it an A plus because it didn't like blow me away. That's a weird way to say it, but appropriate to the movie. But yeah, definitely solid A. And I would tell any of my friends to go see it. It's probably worth. Movies are so expensive, but it's probably worth $12.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely. Yeah, I'm actually gonna give it an A as well. And my sort of bold statement on this is I'm not gonna be surprised if this ends up on my top 10 list, and I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up in the top half of my top 10 list.
That would be fine. Top 5?
Yeah, top 5, yeah.
Just making sure the math.
I just don't mean, like, I'm not sure if it's going to be necessarily number 1. I can only think of, like, literally the 2 moments where I'm kind of like, don't know if that necessarily works for me, but other than that, yeah, I think the film it works absolutely perfectly for what it's supposed to be, and there are literally too many one-liners to remember to count.
Yeah, there are. Yeah.
It is. If you're looking like, man, I've had a shitty day, I just want to laugh, this is a perfect film for you.
Yeah, you know what? It takes risks with that, and sometimes I agree the humor doesn't always come through, but I think it's really refreshing to see a film that does that. So,
and even if you're like, that didn't work out for me, the next one's going to be funny anyways. So,
yeah.
Other than that, we're actually going to go into our discussion. We're going to basically talk about briefly why Deadpool is different from most superhero films and whether that actually works or not. For us, obviously, most of that's going to work, but once you have seen the film, come join us in a discussion and let us know what you think. Anyways, and until the next video, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, babe. Later, babe.